We're live. What's going on out there, YouTube family? We're back for another WandaVision production. Previously on, I'm just joking. This is episode 8. The name of it is previously on WandaVision. What's up, Lucas?
It's WandaVision.
WandaVision.
And I'm blaming Agatha for everything. At this point. Y'all been blaming Agatha for everything during the week. Everything. But yet not for this show, which makes no sense, because that's literally the thing you should be blaming her for. But
look,
let's
all right. So yeah, let's break it down. This episode, it picks off right from where we left off. The very last thing we saw in the last episode was a couple different things. We had, oh man, I screwed that up. I did screw it up. My bad, y'all.
Wait. You're gonna have Disney get on us. You can't reveal too much stuff, Sam.
But we got the final reveal of Monica exhibiting her powers. She kind of had a confrontation with Wanda. It didn't end well. Agatha brought Wanda to her house, and from that point, she took her down to the dungeon, and you realize that Agnes was Agatha Harkness. And on top of that, Monica had went to the back cellar and was caught up by Pietro. When she tried to get in there, it looked like she was being brought under control as well. Or it could have been that she was actually,
Snoopers are gonna snoop.
Yeah. I don't know if she was absorbing the energy or what, but either way, we got what we got. So this episode is the evolution from that point, where Agnes' backstory is unfold as Agatha Harkness. You see that it looked like she was going to be like burned at the stake, but no, like she was surrounded by a whole bunch of different other witches, and they were ridiculing her for malpractices or whatever she was doing. It was to the point that they were like, yeah, you need to stop, and she wasn't trying to do it, and they were trying to execute her, and instead of executing her, they gave her more power. And she ended up killing them all. On top of that, she actually had a confrontation with her mom. Did you notice in that when her mom was fighting her, that her mom had like this crown over her head, it looked like? And I was kind of like, I swear that looks and reminds me of Scarlet Witch's same exact joint. And I was like, I don't know if this is the same thing. If Agnes is trying to get to the same level of Wanda, if it's like she's the queen, undisputed witch or whatever. I don't know. But either way,
the Wicked Witch of the East or whatever witch she is from this show.
But she ended up killing her own mother and just kind of walking away. To going full forward, now she's got Wanda underneath her possession because Wanda is in a place where her abilities don't work. It's just really weird. I don't know.
No. You say it. They said powers. Her powers don't work, not abilities. Her powers don't work because she gave what's the stuff on Supernatural they do when they don't want the angels to get away? The protection spells.
Some kind of protection spell to keep her from getting whatever. This is the weird thing about all this, to me personally. And that might be the only thing I have a real issue with. I didn't do a non-spoiler review because I didn't even know how to do it without spoiling everything. I was like, I'm not going to bother doing a non-spoiler review on this episode. I was like, I'm just going to wait till me and Lucas just break it down. That's why you guys are getting our unfiltered everything right now. And I forgot I was live. I was about to go in. The issue that I have with this is that Wanda doesn't have any understanding of spells or magic. Wanda has literally been just moving off of her own energy that's come from her. It's been implied, and I even believe, I said it last episode to Lucas, that we're going to find out, she had powers, before anything happened. I knew that's where this was going to go. I knew that the moment that, they were going to bring up when Stark, was involved with this, and, her and Pietro were there for days, and how they just miraculously nothing happened. I was kind of like, man, she did that, John. Or either Magneto stopped at one. And sure enough, they showed that she stopped it with her abilities. But now it's like, okay, this whole entire time is her magic, which is cool, but that's not. She doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you might have to break this down better for me because it just doesn't click with me.
I'm gonna say I don't read comic books. I can't break this down. She was a mutant to me, and then magically she's a witch now. I am super confused here. So is the powers magic or is the powers mutant?
So it comes from her. Like she is what Agnes said, that she's using chaos magic. And I can believe that. The ability that she has inside of her is coming out and manifesting itself to create things. Like it's unheard of. Like even like I said with the Nexus situation, there's only one Scarlet Witch throughout all different time in history. That's the reason why Wanda, when she saw the Mind Stone, she saw a vision of what she really is, which is the official version. I guess that by the end of this episode, or by the end of the last season, of the end of this season, they're going to show her.
Why are we waiting 10 years to give her a costume? You know what? I was perfectly fine with just a red leather trench coat. Didn't need a costume. Not at all. No need. Or the stupid big roof. You're the Scarlet Witch. I'm like, Nick, did I just watch this shit for you to tell me something I knew already? Like, oh, God.
So I definitely think, and I know in the comments, they've always submitted her as the Scarlet Witch, like as though she's a witch. But her powers are innately, manifested from herself. And it's always been said that she also is very much so a mutant. So she's a witch and she's a mutant. But the reason why this doesn't flush as well is they've never, up until one episode, which is this episode, expressed that she's both. And I don't think that they convey that very well. It's not, if you're a non-comic book reader, you're not going to ascertain that she is a mutant and she's a witch. You're going to be like, wait, this whole entire time you're trying to tell me she's just a witch. And the ability she's getting is just coming from something else.
Where is the mutant aspect of this from? And they don't talk about it. And is this still because they refuse to say mutants? But then you told me, and I'm not talking about you, Sam, I'm talking about them. They told me that the Mind Stone, or whatever stone that was, that activated their powers just activated dormant abilities they had.
Yeah.
So now, am I stuck to believe it activated dormant magical witch powers?
I think it's the same thing. And that's why I said that the execution of the episode doesn't explain that explicitly, because one of the things they missed in this, and maybe again, it's an Aaron Taylor Johnson situation, I don't know, but if they would have had Pietro, right, in the same exact compound, exposed to this, and all of a sudden he starts to maneuver around with his ability, then it would have been like, oh, they're both mutants, but she's vastly different because she very much so is a witch too. Like her abilities are stronger than his because not only is she a mutant, but she also is a witch. And they never brought him into the fray to show what happened. Like it
now let's go back to their real parents here. Not the ones on the show that we know technically is not her real father.
Mm.
Is the mother a real witch? I'm confused now. No, let me phrase that. I'm not confused. They are attempting to confuse me.
Yo, the chat is hilarious right now.
Because for someone who does not read comic books, all I heard was she's a witch. So how am I separating her from Agatha? I know she's a mutant. I know that much.
Mm.
But wouldn't that lead me to believe that Agatha's a mutant?
So because, and this somebody put this in the chat, so I brought it up. Somebody in the chat said that Wanda's chaos magic comes from the elder god Scython. I don't know anything about this. This is the one moment we probably should have brought Chris in the fray in this one because I don't have anything to speak on it. But I think that Agatha also is an abnormal witch because she absorbs energy and also can disperse it and do whatever she wants to manipulate it.
That's what I mean. So isn't she
dimensionally? I don't know.
And for Wanda's chaos magic to come from a god still doesn't help me explain, is she mutant? What is the mutant ability that Wanda has? Because right now it seems like everything is focused on just Wanda being a witch. If that's the way we're going and we're moving forward, that she is not a mutant, she is just a witch. Cool. Then explain to me what dormant abilities did the Mind Stone awaken? Did they awaken? This whole time we thought they awakened mutant abilities, even though they couldn't say the word mutant. But did they just awaken her abilities as a witch? And if that's the case, why isn't her twin a witch? Because a witch is not just signifying like for women. Well, he would be a warlock. So is Pietro a warlock, and that's why he was able to move fast?
So that's why I said that the episode doesn't. It gives you. Well, I'm gonna say a positive. It gives you the filled-in blanks about Wanda Maximoff that we've already known, but we've never seen. Those in-between moments.
Yeah.
And I think that the execution of in-between moments played by your girl, I think she executes them very well. I felt like it makes you understand her trauma. It makes you understand her devotion to these like sitcoms, because that's a place of comfort in the midst of the most tragic and traumatic moments of her life. Yes. And I think that the execution of that works for the character and understanding the character, but it doesn't work and make you understand the purpose of the show or the purpose of us understanding and comprehending the value of what she is either, or her sibling. Because again, her children, you know, one of her children literally has the same ability as her, and then the other one has the ability of Pietro. And so,
did Wanda give Pietro his powers too? Because she's a witch. I'm not asking these questions because I don't understand that both of them are mutants and they're Magneto's children. I'm asking this question because on this episode, we assumed that things would be clearly defined by now of what she actually is. Even to the extent of telling us that isn't her actual father. We know that's not her actual father. We know who her father is. And because we know this information, it makes it confusing when it doesn't have to be confusing. Because right now, it seems like she's just a witch. And it seems like you gave me a whole ass episode to tell me she's something I knew she was already. And to try to make me cry over a robot, which was never going to happen in the first place. But that's what it seems like this episode.
I will say, to comment on that moment, though, I think it was a good smoke and mirrors kind of thing, because the I forget the douchebag's name that works with Sword, he kind of tried to play it off like, okay, Wanda was the one that did this or do that. But did it not feel like to you that he invited Wanda there? Yes. That he wanted her to go there to activate Vision? I feel like everything he did was kind of like, oh man, we done tried everything. Well, let's bring her here. Maybe she will reanimate him. And I felt like when he said to her, oh, there he is, I was like, man, that's inhumane. And then he made some kind of sly comment. He's like, oh, nobody would judge you for what you're doing here. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, you have the ability of bringing anyone back from the dead. So of course we know you'd be here. And I was like, he's doing that because he wants a weapon. And he felt like she could do it. She didn't.
Is it because he's Nightmare? Is that what it is?
Or what's the other? Nightmare. No. I don't give him that much credit yet.
Well, it's the last episode, and you clearly need to give him some form of credit because they've done nothing to establish a multiverse, and that's the main purpose of this show.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that the moment that she left, I was like, she didn't even leave with the body. So now we're in a situation that, remember, I said it a long time ago. I was like, what if this isn't Vision at all? Like, what if this isn't even him, his body parts or nothing? Now we know that he's had Vision's body this whole entire time. And whatever.
He left a note for her to create the town? Who left the note in the car?
So, from my understanding, the note was either from this man or it was Vision. I thought Vision left her that note a long time ago, that this is where we're going to build our home or whatever. But to your point, it could have been this man to being like, oh, okay, we're gonna set this up. And whoa, no, you know what? Better than that. If it wasn't the man, it definitely was the higher force that put this all in motion, because it was just way too coincidental.
And it's way too big of a moment. Like, that's a car she was already driving. So why would she be magically surprised by a note that she already saw?
Yeah. And she would have been opened that a long time ago if it was from Vision. So it was like, who left the note? It doesn't seem like Agatha did, because Agatha was going through the memories with her and didn't say anything about it. Matter of fact, Agatha was... Yeah, go ahead.
Agatha wanted to trigger her, so she understood how everything was created was through Wanda. Like, no other force did this but you.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, we already know that the guy that's working for SWORD, he just cares about getting Vision online to use it as a weapon. And now he got what he wants. And I don't even know what the heck Vision is anymore. But I go back to what you said about Shuri. Shuri said that, I might get this wrong, so y'all don't judge me. Shuri said, I think that I can pull the Mind Stone away from him, because I don't think that what makes Vision is in this stone, that is somewhere else. Yeah. And I wondered is it possible that whatever was left of Vision, when she killed him, she preserved inside of herself. Because remember, she killed him. Yeah. Blew up the stone. And then Thanos brought him and reanimated him back to life just to pull the stone from him.
Yeah.
So
you wondered, is that part still in Wanda? And that was the hope and goal of this man who's SWORD, who's probably Mephisto or Nightmare at this point, to get her to reanimate Vision so he could use Vision as a weapon.
It's either one or three things, which I pray it's not, but I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like the SWORD dude has his own agenda.
Of course.
Agatha has her own agenda. Of course. And I feel like that note may be somebody else's whole agenda against the whole entire thing. Because again, Agatha didn't say anything about it. The guy that worked at SWORD, it doesn't make sense for him to put that note there in any way, shape, or form.
So you wonder who is the third person still trying to manipulate Wanda, that we will find out in the last loaded episode of who this person is?
Yeah, somebody put in the chat, shout out to Martin S. Martin S. says, Vision versus Vision fight in the finale. Yeah.
They look, if they do a Vision versus Vision fight in the finale, where I have a whole ass Scarlet Witch there that can kill both of them at a snap of her finger, I'm going to be highly upset about that. Okay? No Vision versus Vision finale, unless they say Martha somewhere in the middle, or Scarlet. Why did you say her name? That's the only way I want a Vision versus Vision fight. Other than that, no Vision versus Vision fight.
Okay, what did Vision say? Why Tyler misled Monica about Vision's body?
We actually talked about that offline, and we were going to bring that up because that's something I brought up. Me and Sam don't talk before we do these at all. That's what normally happens. After I saw this episode, I was angry, because I felt like Sam has wasted 8 hours of my, close to 6 hours of my life watching this show. And I said, wait a minute. He told Monica from the beginning, and we saw the little clip of Wanda breaking in, which she never actually broke in.
Nope.
And he said she got Vision's body.
Yep.
So I said, well, why would he do any of that? That makes no sense for him to even bring that up. And now we know that she never took Vision's body. So I think that's going to play into him manipulating Monica to believe that Wanda was bad. But then it makes me wonder, is that not something one of these two mutants, damn it, I can't call them mutants, witches possibly, would do to manipulate Wanda or manipulate other people around Wanda?
I feel like they had a really good end with bringing in Pietro to establish mutants in the MCU finally through this show. They really had a slam dunk. They could have brought in the understanding of mutants and witches and multiverse all in one. And I feel like they're leaving it to be answered in the very last episode when they didn't have to. They really didn't have to.
It's that want to, I need to shock the heck out of you in the last episode, and I'm gonna throw this at you, then I'm gonna throw that at you, then I'm gonna throw this at you, then I'm gonna throw all of it. That is unnecessary. We could have already had this. Or worse yet, or better yet, not worse yet, better yet. How about we not talk about mutants at all with WandaVision? Let's establish that down the road somewhere else. Give it a hint and then move on. But at this point, you didn't give me a hint because you told me she's a witch. You didn't say shit about her father. Or the last episode, don't in the last episode you come up and we go back to that point, and then she realizes from Agatha or whomever is Tyler, who he may really be, comes out and tells her that this family that you've mourned for this entire time, that's not your actual father. And then the look on her face when he tells her that, and then she uses whatever power she has of chaos magic to kill him. But in the back of her mind, as she goes on, she always remembers that that is not your father. And then they build it upon to eventually reveal that Magneto is her father.
I'll give you even one better. This same exact moment, like you said, happens, and the hex surrounds the entire Earth. And everything is completely shifted out of balance.
Oh, but then that's when Mr. Miller here, Julian Miller.
Yep, that's the reason why I brought it up.
1,000% right. Like, we've been waiting for a reason for them to introduce Doctor Strange into this show. And if a hex goes around the world, there you go. That's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and that's the gateway into it. It would be a question of like who orchestrated it the most. Everything doesn't need to be answered in one season.
There's no second season.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think there's gonna be a second, because even Kevin Feige said like some of these shows are gonna have more seasons, and some of them are not.
And Wanda is made to be built upon in the movies. She's the one cast in the movie going forward.
Yep.
Yeah, this is not a multiple season type of thing for WandaVision.
Nope. Nor should it be. I don't see a point. Why would we? What would be the point?
Yeah, there's no need for a season 2 of WandaVision where we already know Wanda is in Spider-Man 3. She's a huge part of Doctor Strange 2. Her kids are a huge part of the Young Avengers. There's literally no reason for WandaVision season 2.
So,
and if you don't answer the basic questions in season 1, you are a stupid show. This is a basic question here of, hey, and not meaning you. I mean, the people who make the show would be stupid not to understand that you have to answer the basic questions to make people care enough, besides the MCU people who will watch this no matter what. I mean, to make general people care enough to move forward.
Yeah. So, I don't know, DC big also, said first things first, this wasn't a no, it was a deed to the lot. We know that. We know that it was a deed to the lot, but it was left with a little heart with the note to sanctify, this is where we're going to start our whatever.
Yeah, it's actually, so it actually is a note because he wrote a note on it.
Yeah.
And why would that be such a big thing if she already saw it?
Man, I can't.
That's building unnecessary emotions.
So why be mad we're not getting any answers? I'll answer this because Lucas, I don't want you to go off. Lucas is looking for a reason for why he even started the show from the beginning.
Because it's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I know we're live and I'm not supposed to cuss. It's because it's fucking stupid. If you don't give me a reason to care about this show, what was the point of doing this? I know good well you did not go through a whole season to tell me she is something everybody and they mama knew she was. No, that can't be the reason why you went through a whole season. We understood from the beginning of WandaVision, the goal was to set up whatever is the big explosive moments that needed to happen between Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. That was the point of this show. Marvel said it multiple times. I remember them saying it multiple times. Damn it, if I don't remember them saying it when we were at Comic-Con, they said this shit was supposed to set up this. Yes, if you don't give the basic answer, see, because you say all answers to me is basic stuff. Nothing here is big. Basic answers to why does this show exist beyond just to give you a long form piece of garbage. I don't need a long form piece of garbage. I need you to really say, hey, the point of this show And the point of all these MCU shows, as Kevin Feige said, is to progress the storyline in a longer format, things we can't do in movies. Could you explain anything that's happened in the first 5 episodes of WandaVision that's expanded anything from the MCU? No.
Yeah.
Not a single thing.
So
you better be able to explain it.
So I'm a comment to this, Wave Dave. I appreciate Wave Dave. I appreciate your questions. I'm gonna ask you a question.
See the deed. This is literally a few days after the snap.
And how the hell did she? I'm wrong. In Infinity War, they were not in the United States. They were across the world, and they were attacked. Jesus. And Vision was literally mortally wounded, right? Mm-hmm. And Captain America saved them. And then from that point, they were having to go to war. There was never a point that they went back to their car or anything happened. Wanda never ended up back at any car or any kind because they were literally across the world. So no, I don't think that this deed or this
does he think this car was there for 5 years? I'm sorry. Here you go. I'm sorry. I know what models, makes, and years of cars look like. Guess what? That car would have been from the year that we're supposed to be in now on this show. It will make no sense, because if that's the case, you're telling me after the snap, she snapped away for 5 years, right? That lot, they just moved all the cars from 5 years ago to that lot, and she still has a key to that car? That makes no sense. No, yeah. I understand. It makes it sound like we are nitpicking. These are very little things that make no sense. Yeah. So it makes me wonder, when she sees that deed there, and she sees it with the note there, that's somebody manipulating her. Because it would make sense for them to do that for Wanda. Exactly. Because clearly, unless we all believe that Wanda is just inherently evil, which I think she's evil, but not inherently evil. And she decided to go to that town at that point, and then her powers, magic, becomes so uncontrollable that she just takes over the whole town. But she knows what she's doing, and she doesn't care. That's completely evil. Instead of someone manipulating her to doing this because they need to see her power. They need to see how much of that power she has. And that would be the perfect time to do it. Because, damn it, why would she go see Vision first? If he wrote a note with the plot of the land, I'm assuming she's going to go to the plot of the land first and then go see Vision. Yeah, again, no. It couldn't be from 5 years ago, because that would make absolutely no sense.
Yeah, no, Wave Dave, we're not commenting necessarily on you. We're going back and harping to what DC Big also said, that this was not a situation where it's like the deed. We understand what you're saying, that she didn't already see the deed. We know that. We're just talking to what we're thinking that this actually really truly is. But either way,
because I'm still believing that Marvel doesn't want her to be evil. So they want to have it where someone is manipulating her to do these actions, and they're using her emotional connection to Vision to do so.
Sorry. Kelvin, you're entitled to your opinion, brother. We're not gonna say one way left or right because the mouse is watching this. Like, I gotta look around and make sure I ain't got.
I have always said, and I know I sound mad here. I sound mad because I know what this is leading to. It's leading to a very loaded last episode, which is what I don't like, shows that feel the need to load everything up when it's little hints you could have dropped and then just make a nice last episode. And I'm not going to say the show is inconsistent, because I believe it is a very consistent show. I just may believe the consistency of the show isn't necessarily good television. And I agree with none of this makes. Hey, exactly. Thank you. Kelvin Lane, you are 1,000% right. That's the problem with this show. At the end of the day, it doesn't make sense because she hijacked an entire town of people against their will. So if she's not manipulated, that means she is inherently the most evil person in the MCU if she did this and it wasn't for someone manipulating her.
I mean, I'm going to say it this way. this episode implies that she fully has known from the beginning what happened.
Jesus Christ, do you know what that means? Do you know?
And she acted like she didn't remember.
She is Ultron. If she did this knowingly, well, we know she did it knowingly. If she did it with no manipulation being present in it, she is evil. She, like, at that point, she's the villain in Doctor Strange 2. Which amazingly, we don't know who the villain in Doctor Strange 2 is. It is Wanda, if she did this. It is the Scarlet Witch. She's the villain of Doctor Strange 2.
What? Hey, Danielle, I appreciate you. I appreciate you with your second thought. She's dealing with a lot of hurt. She's not evil. I think that this is the thing, and this is not going back and forth at all with you, because I think I respect your thought in that. And I honestly, personally feel like at her core, she maybe have good intentions. She may be, a good person at heart, but what the action that she's doing, if she is willingly doing this and understands what happened, that is an evil action. That's not right. Regardless of hurt, there's plenty of people that have died.
How many hurt people? How many people are hurt people allowed to hurt before they're evil? I could use. How many people? How many people can I hurt? If I hurt, how many people am I allowed to hurt? That's all I need to know.
Hey, yo, Kelvin, I think that might be a reality, bro. Because I never felt like Ultron died anyway.
I think that's a good, that's a good way to bring back Ultron, who people have been like waiting to come back. If he has James Spader's voice, then MCU fans will, in unison, disintegrate on themselves. I'll put it that way, because they'll lose their minds if he has that voice.
Yeah.
But back to Miss Joy. I need to know just how many people I can hurt when I am hurt before I'm evil. I have so many examples of people that are hurt that the world sees as evil for the actions they take after they're hurt. She's evil.
Yeah,
she doesn't have control of her powers, accepted the world she created. Hence, Doctor Strange. But that's what will make her evil. The key part of there is, and accepted the world she created. She knows those people are in pain.
Suffering. Yeah,
she knows it.
Yeah.
So she's. Oh, I was about to say. I'm not gonna say. I have so many analogies I can say off air. And Miss Joyner, if you just want to like go in the comment section or somewhere, I would love to have a conversation with you, because that is very interesting. I just can't use any of the analogies that I want to use on this show live, because I would like to have a life afterwards, and people cancel people for the things that I would say in the real world situations I would use to explain why that is still extremely evil. Let's just say lots of dictators have been hurt. Lots of monsters in the world have been hurt. And when they get hurt, they reacted a certain way. And we see them as evil because of that. Wanda is no different if she is not being manipulated by someone. That's the key part to me.
Hey, so look, I'm going to put a shameless plug in here. If you guys want to have open conversation with Lucas, go right here.
Oh, we're not doing it on Twitter either. No.
Hey, go ahead and hit him up on Twitter. And hit him up in his DMs.
I love her commenting. What's my other guy who it seems like I was shitting on, and I was not shitting on you at all. Please don't take it that way.
Oh,
Wave. Like, I mean, I understand the questions that I pose, and I like when the questions are posed because it makes it much easier to answer. It's just some things, it's a TV format thing with me, with why certain things need to be answered. Mr. Lang is awesome. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Kelvin is he's hurting me in this. Yo, hey, low key, he lost his eye, he lost his whole people, dad.
He lost everything. And all he did was drink and play Fortnite. Wanda lost vision, and she enslaved. Keyword there, people, if you know where I was going with the thing. She enslaved a group of people. Enslaved. Think about that for a minute. She got hurt. And we understand her hurt. In response to her hurt, She enslaves people. Think about it for a minute. Again, I can't say what I want to say, but think about it.
The 30-minute mark. See, this is where, all right, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is the most fun I've actually had about with the show. Talking with you guys. Because between Calvin and Danielle, and I just gratifying your channel, just accepting stuff. We've never been like that, you guys. If you looked at our Lovecraft thing and other things, we don't sugarcoat anything.
Calvin, I am forced against my will from JVS Vision of doing this show when I don't want to do this show, because I said it's not much to discuss in this show, and I was cool up until episode 5 hit, and you wouldn't get canceled, sir.
This is CJ.
Hold on, that's CJ. CJ.
Yeah, that's CJ.
Yeah, CJ. Stop lying. It's stuff we say in our chat, can never go out to public view ever. And if I compare what Wanda is doing to a certain dictator in history, everybody would immediately get canceled. She's made a horrible
mistake, not excusing it, but then she said
people are. I beg to differ there. Right now if she's evil. Evil people can be redeemed. Yes, all people in the world can be redeemed to me. Okay, just because you're evil don't mean that you didn't have good qualities. It just means that you're an evil person. That's redeemable. Is just thinking about your good qualities. But Wanda enslaved a group of people. If she did this of her with no influence from the outside world, she enslaved people.
Yo, Danielle, you're funny too. Because this is what Danielle said.
Oh, damn it. Oh God! You know what? They are you secretly a dictator? Because that's what dictators say. Like, this place was horrible before I got here. Look at all the wonderful things I brought you. They'd be like, but we have no free will. It doesn't matter. Your houses are beautiful. Oh man.
So, all right, tell me this: if Wanda can create manifestations, why she bring back Vision, but not her mom or her dad or brother? So this is the thing that we talked about, I think, last week, Kelvin. We talked about the fact that she hasn't brought anybody back from the dead that actually was a human. She brought Vision back because he is a hybrid. Like, he is, reinforced with vibranium, and he technically is a robot that had a kind of a humanoid soul or whatever. So it's something that she could reanimate, but she couldn't bring back her mom or her brother because of that reason. That's what we were talking about last week anyway.
I think they bring that up about when the kids, you know what? I disagree with y'all. Lovecraft also. You know what?
So she's on your side about Lovecraft.
Yeah. See, hey.
Hey, you cool. Look, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button. We got a lot more.
Again, I love the point that you are making. I love that you are sticking to your guns on this point. That is a awesome, a beautiful thing, a wonderful thing. But she's enslaving a group of people, and I just can't see that as not being evil to enslave people. She's Pharaoh. Pharaoh enslaved people too. And that's what Wanda's done here.
Yeah, she did. She did.
And she killed a kid during one of those commercials when she didn't feed him.
Look, we're not gonna. She said she's already subscribed. Love y'all. All right. So yeah, Lucas, we done went past the time. I said
because we supposed to do 35 minutes. I said 45 minutes because I knew 35 minutes would never work.
We are ending this right now. We're gonna end it on what we think is gonna happen. What about my review? My review number?
No. I meant to say what's your thoughts on the next show. We're not giving review numbers for this one. Nope.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
We still love you, Disney. Falcon and Winter Soldier is about to drop. We still love you, Disney.
Yeah. Look, this is my worry and concern for the next episode. I worry and concern that, I don't know who said it, there's going to be a Vision versus Vision fight. There's going to be a
Wanda versus Agatha, for sure.
Wanda, Agnes, and Monica fight in some way, shape, or form, I think that they're going to have to explain to me Pietro. I mean, I don't see any other way around it. You got to explain that to me, because there's no point of bringing him in there. It's just a renege, bro. I'll be pissed off about that. Doctor Strange is going to show up because things are going to get out of hand. We're going to find out that book that is with Agnes, that was something that probably Doctor Strange had noticed that it was missing, and now he understands why, and the manipulation behind everything that was happening between whoever, did this is going to come to fruition. And we're going to get sprinkled into all of that we just said in an hour, some hidden person that at this point don't even matter to me, because they're doing too much in one episode.
And that's another thing too. Just because Paul has been teasing this huge reveal at the end of the season is why I thought a lot of this other stuff would be wrapped up before that reveal. Like, that's what I'm hoping for, is that we all get something wrapped up by the end of this before Paul's big surprise of the person he's been waiting to work with that he hasn't. What you got? Are we to understand? We'll sit there screaming, WandaVision, all trying to fight will be a cliffhanger. Oh, Jesus. If you are right about that, that would be interesting.
So I've always felt like Ultron. I mean, I felt like one of the problems that I had with Avengers 2 is they killed Ultron. Like, it made no sense to me, because Ultron was something that didn't need a body to maneuver around at any point. Like, I never even thought that Vision would have even killed him. Like, Vision claimed he would, but he said, well, I don't know. And we never saw him actually kill him. So, I mean, it could be what is left and remaining, because I think that Wanda made a point that she kind of hovered over Vision's head or whatever. She's like, he's not there, like you're not there, or something like that. But that didn't mean something else.
Yeah. I don't even feel you anymore. I think that's what she said. That's the touching moment that was supposed to make you cry over a robot. But, I mean, hey, if they bring back Ultron, we knew eventually he would come back. But it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Marvel's bringing back all their old villains for stuff now. You should. Hey. You really, really should. Or if you get the cliffhanger and then it says Wanda will be seen next in Doctor Strange 2 or Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, that's the way you do it. That was Paul's big surprise. White Vision better not be Paul's big surprise. The actor he wanted to work with for years better not be himself. It better not be himself. It better not be.
I'm done, y'all. I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed this live stream.
And why do y'all call him White Vision? That just sounds so wrong.
It does sound really wrong. I'm just I'm gonna say soulless Vision. That's what we'll say.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're not equating white to being soulless.
Lucas, that's not what we're saying. Point, who's your pick? Who like, let's just put our cards out there. Who you think is gonna be? At this point, we got 2 more minutes.
The big surprise. The big surprise. I don't know. I've always said the smart big surprise would have been Patrick Stewart, but
what's the point of his character being in this?
That's be my point there, because the mutants don't exist so far,
and like,
unless you're gonna make them exist in the last episode.
I mean, it was working when it was like implied that her son could feel and hear people's stuff because they're telepaths, and she could understand what was going on in people's minds and manipulate people's minds, and that makes sense from a telepathic standpoint. But now you got witches in this, and it's like,
well, here's the thing. We're gonna just say they're gonna find a way to wrap this show up. I don't think they're gonna do a cliffhanger. I think that unless the cliffhanger leads directly into the next movies that Wanda's going to be in, they're going to give you just enough to feel like the story is concluded.
Do you think
they
will kill her?
Yes.
They better not kill this jerk.
Yes.
No,
yes.
Not.
I think that is almost. I think she's going to use her powers. Wanda's going to absorb her powers, or Monica's going to absorb her powers, and then we get Monica with powers, or we get Wanda becoming more powerful.
Bro, they better not kill Agatha. One, because I actually like Catherine. I think
she's amazing.
I think she's dope.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And
That's the thing. This whole cast is really good. That's not make that mistake. This whole cast is really good. It's just the unnecessary dragging out of things that I don't like.
Yo, hey Danielle, I think you're right. They've had every opportunity to do X-Men stuff, and they've been avoiding it like a mug. And I swear, if they put it in just the last episode this entire time, I might have a problem.
I tell you, at the end,
Lucas, and we're going to be starting a discussion about Succession.
At the end, I'm telling you, it's going to be, that's not your real father. And Wanda looking off and wondering what that means. And that's what happened when she kills Agatha. Is Agatha's going to reveal those were never her real parents.
It was weird to me. Why did Agatha have her go through her own memories anyway, when she most likely could have just read all of Wanda's memories? I
think she did it for Wanda's standpoint. She didn't do it for herself. She wanted Wanda to get to the point of believing that this is created by you. Because remember, early on in the season, Wanda told Vision that she didn't do any of this.
Yeah,
this wasn't her doing. That wasn't her doing. So Agatha wanted her to know, like, no, this is all you.
Yeah, Paul better not do that, bro. I'll boycott the show.
If he does that,
I'll boycott the show over that. What our discussion is going to be legendary. I'll put you that way. I'll put that on.
And I know I did a few bad words in this episode. If that is his surprise, if we go live, it's going to be bad. Because I'm not dealing with that as being, no. You better not be telling me your dream of working with an actor was yourself. What type of self-absorbed bullshit would that be to say something like that? No. I am still believing. I said before, it could be an actor, but not in a big role. It's just somebody he's always wanted to work with.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Definitely go and follow Lucas on Twitter. And, if you have any random questions to ask him, definitely ask him. This is the good time. And we'll be back next week. Come with me. Peace, guys.